Alright, so here's our database project. We have a malware database. It's a Python program that we're just going to run here, and it's going to open this window. This is a database with all different types of Android malware. So just to start, this is our main screen. In this column here we have the malware type, so we have adware, backdoor, file infector, all these. Those are the different types of malware we have in our database. And then the number of families they have, which is kind of like strains of the malware. And then our next column here is the number of samples found, and then the description. So like a little description of each malware, just to give an idea. Here's our program. It's a window. We have these buttons here where you can look through all of our different types of tables. So we have this main table here, which is our virus types table that's on the main screen. And then all of our tables are basically just the different malware types. So if we click on adware, it's going to open up the adware table. Here, each virus has a similar table like this, where it's structured with the SR number, obviously incrementing from 1 to n, and then we have our family name. So each of these have a specific family name that goes for it, and then the number of samples found of that specific family. So for Dojin, there's 2,679 samples found, and then just a description saying it's adware, just for query purposes. So yeah, you can go through each table here. So backdoor looks like this. Some of them have less SR numbers or family names than others, so you can go through those. And then to go into the buttons, we have a search button to start off with. This button is very cool. So basically we make the user pick a virus type to choose. So let's say we're going to start with adware, and we're going to start with this. So you can either search by the malware family name, or you can choose searching by number of samples. So we're going to start with searching by number of samples. In this search, you basically can say, let's look at all of the adware viruses that have greater than 1,000 samples found. So when you click search, it's going to show that here on the table. And let's say we wanted to say less than 1,000. Let's search again. It's going to show that on the table. So there's that. We're going to close this. Another nice feature we added is that, so right now we're looking at a search in the table. We can go back to the main menu by clicking this return to main menu screen at the bottom. So I'm going to do that. Alright. And then another search option here is the family name. So we'll put an example of that. Just so I can choose one, let's do this. Look at riskware. So we're going to look at the riskware table, and we're going to search. Let's search for this one right here. I'm going to search, and it's going to bring that one up. So that's the search, basically. And then here we have an insert button. So basically this lets you insert to our database. So right now we're looking at the riskware. Let's look at the riskware table. So right now we have these. If we insert, so let's insert, you basically got to enter in what you want to insert to the table. So first you're going to choose which virus type you're going to enter into. So just for now we're going to use ransomware. Alright, and then we'll give it an SR number of 999. Test. Say it's got one sample, test sample. We're going to add that to the database, and then if we click on ransomware, there it is. So there's that. That's an easy way for our users to input into our database, just by typing in what exactly they want to put in. And let's say we wanted to delete that entry as well. So we'll open up the delete an entry button. It's just two entries here. Let's say you wanted to delete from ransomware. You'll just say ransomware, and then what SR number. So we're going to delete 999. That's going to delete that, and there, it's gone. So there's the insert and delete buttons we made. Some more buttons we made. So here's one right here where we're matching the number of samples between two tables. So this one's a little bigger, we're going to make it smaller. So this is better to do with a table that has lots of different viruses to look at, virus family names. So let's do this. Let's choose adware, and let's go with ransomware. Hopefully that'll work out for us. So there you go. This adware family name admogo with 79 samples is matching up with this one with the same number of samples. So that's another query we did where we're matching up the number of samples found. On our next button here, we've got find a family with the largest number of samples. So basically what this does is you'll choose a family, a virus type, sorry, and then basically it'll look for the virus family with the largest number of samples found. So for example, let's choose Trojan here. It's going to pull up here in the table, and it's only going to show the family and the number of samples. So the Trojan family is CNSMS, and that's got 3,413 samples. And if we look at Trojan, looking at the list, it looks like that is right here, and it's got the most number of samples. So there's that. And then here's another button that we really like a lot. This is the Get More Information on a Virus Type button. So you're going to open this, and it's going to say select the virus type to get more information about. This will open a page in your machine's default browser. So what we did was we basically set this up so whichever virus type you would choose, it would open up a Malwarebytes page with information on that virus. So we're going to choose one here, my favorite, scareware. So let's do that. And it's going to open up with your default browser. Here's scareware. What is scareware? It's a Malwarebytes website. It's going to give you examples and so on. So there's that. And then that is pretty much our program, and now I'm going to switch it over to Hugh to talk about our code base.
Alright, so for this project, as mentioned in our final report, we did end up switching from a C++ project based on C++ Builder. That was the IDE we originally intended on using for the project, but after a while we realized it would be a lot more effort than was required to learn the syntax and how C++ Builder handled button click events, and even just formatting the UI was more difficult than it needed to be. So we ended up switching to a Python-based program using TakeHinter library to develop the GUI. And so here I'll start at the bottom here. This is where we set up the main page that you're seeing on your left. Yeah, and really this just sets up all the buttons, pushes them onto the frame, and sets them up like that. And then above this area down here, we've got our main functions. So this is the largest number of samples from a family. Here we set up a drop-down or a combo box that allows the user to select it. It'll grab their inputs and add it to a query builder down here, at which point it'll reset the display tree to view the correct, obviously, family and number of samples to see that. Up here, this is the more information function, I guess. Pretty simple to open up these pages, but it is a good feature to have. Up here, similarly, yeah, there's the main function for finding more information. So here we've got compare. This will just excuse me. Okay, yeah, so this is just taking the two tables that you can insert over here, and then it'll check which ones are equal and output them correctly here. Originally, an interesting bug we had was when we would join our tables, it would actually print duplicates of, or if there was a situation where one table had more occurrences of a virus. So basically, say adware had 3 in common with riskware, but riskware had 6 that also matched the numbers of adware. That would display 6, or I guess 3 duplicates of those adware samples to match up with riskware, which was just one of the bugs we had to deal with. But this generally fixes it and makes the output in the table look a lot cleaner. Here we've got the delete functions. We're just building queries. And Same thing up here for the search. This one I did a little bit differently. It basically just narrows it down to different cases that the user would have on the search. So the malware or the malware type is by default that has to be selected, and then you can choose to search it by the family name or the number of samples. And yeah, pretty much up here, this just resets the display tree. This is our insert function. You can read over that. It's fairly similar to the other ones, except with the query that we're running. And then up here, we've got all of these functions that just display the different types of families corresponding to these buttons on the left. Alright, and that is it. Some things that we didn't get to in this project was SQL injection. We just didn't have enough time for that. I'm sure if we did, we'd be able to implement that fairly easily as well. So finally here, we will take you through the GitHub. And yeah, this is it. We do have so we've got all of our main files here, including our midterm reports, and we will be adding our final report once we download that and submit it as well. Here's our database as well. So this repository can be easily run just by cloning the repository and then running Python 3 main.py or double-clicking on this Python file. Yeah, so unless Dave has any thoughts, I think that concludes it.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you.